first half of the film was the thing was very compelling because it talked about a history. I consider myself a lifelong learner. And so I like to learn about things that, I don't know much about. So the history of MMA and the history of UFC, that's fascinating stuff. So the first half, I had no idea it came from Brazil. I had no idea that it came, that these little characters and families and mobsters who kind of made it what it is. That was actually really interesting. I thought was kind of fascinating. But the thing is, it still wasn't a movie. We might need to discuss first principles here about what a movie is and what a movie is not, because this is the first movie we saw with commercials. The first movie we saw with no camera being used in the film. The first film
had commercials.
Yeah, but I saw it on YouTube, and there are 2 commercial breaks.
I saw it on YouTube. There were no commercials.
Well, I guess I don't pay for YouTube enough. First film made with fair use images and royalty-free music, and the budget for this thing was probably equal to the catering budget for She Dies Tomorrow. And I'm being serious about that. It was not made for much money, but like I said, it was. If you jump back and listen to this thing through the narrator has something to say, and it's a lot like what you hear online. It's complex, it's contrasting, it's self-important, it's convoluted. It is some places praising himself, and some places being disgusted with the entire thing. It's fascinating to watch, to listen to this guy, because he's talking about something he loves and he hates at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's accurate, Chad? Do you think I'm anywhere near what he's talking about?
What?
Chris, where's your Scott's wrong?
Okay. But that
all
was
right, Jim. No. All right, Jim, you go next.
All right.
Okay. I was intrigued by the first 20 or 30 minutes of it while they were talking about history, but after I looked at Wikipedia, I saw that they just basically cribbed it from there. The guy...
No, it's the opposite, actually. The Wikipedia page was rewritten based on that. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Some guy gets to make the history. We keep going.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue about whether it's a movie or not. Sure, it was being streamed the same as any other movie I've watched. But the problem I had with it was it was too much of a podcast with a sort of,
bad motion graphics
with a PowerPoint slide deck attached to it. I've been to too many marketing things where they're not what you expect. But anyway, I hate to say this because I hate it. I didn't care bupkis about any of these fuckers, It's like, even when the guy got his leg broken, I was just like, yeah, could you do that to his head? Maybe like just kill him now and the movie will stop. That's it.
All right, Chris, you're up.
Yeah, all right. This movie, I have a lot of the same issues you guys have. Like at times it's like, this is a podcast, a lot of kind of cool visuals attached to it. I am actually morbidly fascinated by MMA. I mean, I actually watched probably the first 3 or 4 of the UFCs.
Oh, wow.
Like I remember a lot of those fights, and I remember what UFC was like before, I think pre-gloves, right, Tad? Like I remember the first few of them, like they do
geese and wraps. It was geese and wraps.
They would put like a fucking sumo guy in the ring with one of those Gracies, and the sumo guy would get punched in the face and go down, and like the little guy just creamed the big guy.
No, the mix was really mixed back then.
Yeah, like I remember that. Like that was kind of interesting to watch.
It was freak show shit.
Yeah. And so I actually like felt like it wasn't just the historical piece, because I actually knew like the Gracies were kind of like the royal family of MMA, like because I've been watching all these fights and they kept winning. And they would talk about the Gracies all the fucking time when we were watching these things. Oh, I was less up on like the kind of middle stuff, like when Pride sort of entered, and that was like listening to the dichotomy between what UFC was and what Pride was. Like that was where I thought the movie was less successful, although I appreciate why he was doing it, was when he would try to correlate what was going on in MMA with what was going on in the macro. I think there's a story there, and I think there's actually something to kind of really go down the rabbit hole on. But I felt like every time he started to get close to something, he would pull back, and suddenly I'm looking at brackets, and we're talking about who won what. Like it was sort of like what, like you either do the history of UFC, or you talk about how MMA and what was going on with these leagues, and would ultimately end up sort of like destroying itself on a certain level. It relates to either, I don't know, like, you know, I guess by the end we would be talking about the rise of Trumpism or what. Like, I think there might be something to that, but you would need to go in and talk to people. And I felt like there was a lot of instances where the fact that this guy didn't have the rights to a lot of these clips, he obviously was like trying to like do it without spending any of the money for this stuff. And so you got a fighting movie with remarkably few fight scenes.
Yeah.
I
Didn't watch it.
made it about 15 or 20 minutes.
Mhm.
And then I started fast forwarding to see if it was just going to be this chart that this guy made gyrating around for the rest of the 2 hours.
Like an L.
And it's like, yep, and I'm out. It was visually so appalling to me. I mean, there's an art to making infographics and presenting information in infographics, and this was amateur hour from the get-go, and he didn't have the rights to any clips, so there was almost no fighting in this thing that I could see, just photos processed through with shitty Photoshop filters. So visually it was offensive to me. And then the guy's a lousy marble mouth narrator, so there was nothing there for me to grab onto. And if he'd said something interesting in the first 15 or 20 minutes, I might have stuck with it, but it was just three strikes. You're right. It doesn't meet the bar for me of whatever a movie is. It's 2 hours long. It's some video that plays, but I didn't think it was a movie.
It's a video you didn't want to watch after the first 20 minutes.
If it hadn't been a pick for, I would have blipped past it in 15 seconds.
If this had come on like on cable when I was scooting around, I probably would have watched it because it's something
I would have watched it
because it's so weird.
Something I didn't know. It's like a bunch of stuff I didn't know before.
I will never know because I can't get past the container to find out what's inside.
And I imagine for you, John, as a graphic guy, that's pretty important stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some of the stuff he's got the motion settings. You're skimming past the stuff so fast that it's meaningless. It's like I don't know what that is going past, and now it's spinning, and now here it is again. And
that's pretty good. Keep doing that.
So yeah, it was a no for me.
I'm not really gonna defend this in the way that you think I might defend it. I am gonna jump in momentarily and say that there's someone in this chat who made a movie entirely out of audio and still pictures and then actually sold it in a couple of theaters and tried to get it into the Oscars. So I don't really want to hear that bullshit from someone.
I have 2 shots in that film, thank you.
Cool. Anyway, we're going to sit here and argue about what's a movie based on whether it's audio, based on whether it's audio and still pictures or not still pictures, or maybe we put some filters over them or whatever. That sounds like some gatekeeping bullshit to me. So I wanted to contrast 2 things here. I wanted to contrast the beauty of fictionalized violence of people fighting in well lit, well set, directed action with CGI and all of the money in the world behind it, with the reality of what 2 people consensually fighting for money looks like. And regardless of whether you think that what's behind Chris or whatever you saw in the maybe 40 seconds of the movie you watched before you decided it wasn't worth it, was...
I did see the guy's leg go.
That was in like the first 20 minutes.
It was it was it twice, but yeah.
That was a tease. That got you in the rest of the film. or whatever it was.
It never lived up to that.
But it was that's what it looks like when people actually hurt each other for money.
No doubt.
And I don't like the fact that there's a shitload of gatekeeping around them. Like, this counts as much as any other documentary that is released digitally, that's released in theaters or whatever, because it follows all of the same conventions as a lot of other documentaries that are mostly based on some sort of either stock footage, or you get into a library or whatever, and you put audio over top of it of a narrator who is drawing connections between them. Adam Curtis, who is generally considered an amazing documentary filmmaker, only works in this space at this point, in terms of having a library of footage that he has access to, and then using music and audio narration over the top of it to make documentaries that have broad-ranging conclusions in a lot of ways. Also, YouTube is a place where people are putting a lot of really good documentary work up, in not just in spaces like this, spaces like that, like even going out and doing the shoots and doing the coverage and doing the inserts and all of that other stuff. Like, for absolutely free on the internet, people are making very, very good documentaries out there about a broad range of subjects. Some of them are 5 minutes long, some of them are 20 minutes long, some of them are 30 minutes long, some of them are 2 or 3 or 4 hours long in some situations. And that is a thing, as people who appreciate filmed media, that we should actually be paying attention to. Like, both of you, Scott and Chris, said that if this had come up on cable, you would have watched it.
Yeah, I
Because
probably would have also laughed at its ridiculous production values, but keep going.
Sure, because this was made by a subsidiary of Vox Media by 2 people.
SB Nation, right? That's the back.
Yeah, well, it's technically it's Secret Base now is what this is. But yeah, this is a subsidiary of Vox Media, and 2 people in like 3 months.
Right. Well, let me feed back one of your ideas to you and give you a second one. The first idea, I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, what you're saying, and this is about about the idea of fighting, about people getting in the ring and beating the crap out of each other. The UFC concept is that you're telling us that as it exists in reality, it is completely different from what you see in any fictionalized version. This isn't Rocky. This isn't Cinderella Man. This isn't Over the Top or whatever. The Karate Kid.
And it's definitely not Hero.
It's not here. It's definitely not Hero. This is actually how people fight, and it's ugly,
anti-hero,
and it's bloody, and it's usually the people doing the fighting are a bunch of goons who don't really.
They're sad,
weird goons. Yeah, and now I pray that. Would you say I'm right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then that you got your point across. I think that's a good point to make, that this is how real fighting works. If any of these guys, who especially the ones that do the shit talking before or after the match, they'd be thrown out of a bar for saying that they can make money doing. So, Chris, tell us about what happened.
But it didn't come across.
No, it didn't. The guy did not understand the concept of diminished returns. The narrator didn't understand that when you keep doing the same thing over and over again, eventually you get nothing out of it.
I feel like that's a
basic economic concept, and
Are you talking about the filmmaking now?
No, I'm talking about the UFC.
Oh, okay.
It's like him not understanding what happened to UFC. The fact that you put more money into it, it gets worse and worse, and it levels out. He showed it in the graph. Everything going 50-50 at the end. You know what I mean? But he never said it, and he never got around to understanding that it's a basic economic concept. Chris, talk about punk rock music. What happened to punk rock music?
It died.
Eventually, it just kind of got co-opted.
I know. In the 70s, it was fantastic. In the 80s,
and you start hearing the same thing over and over and over again, just versions of it. What starts with the Sex Pistols and the Adolescents turns into Green Day and Blink-182.
Yeah.
But that you can say that about a lot of things.
Eventually, it's a lot of any.
Wait, that's a thing the kids are into. We can go make money off of that.
Right.
Green
it's
Day
the monetization of anything that's cool.
By the way, Green Day is more political than the Sex Pistols.
And listen, I don't want to dunk on Green Day. I actually ended up really liking them.
They're good folks. I saw the guy in a Safeway once. He's a cool guy.
No, but yes, everything that is really cool that starts grassroots will eventually get co-opted and ruined.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then the guy who's making all the money will speak at the RNC when the worst person in the world gets nominated to be president.
Sure. Yes, that is indeed what happened.
But that can happen without this documentary.
Well, and again, I think what this
but did you know about it before this documentary?
I did. I do a lot of stuff because I guess I sort of keep an eye on it. But I felt like that he could have chosen to go down one of the 2 or 3 rabbit holes that he presented.
Sure, if they had more than $11 and a book of
right.
I'm glad you said. I am glad you could have done that.
Making a movie on the cheap does not excuse bad movie making. You can rise above it. You can rise above this.
Absolutely. Let's think.
That's true. That's a good
Robert
point.
Rodriguez. Let's talk about him.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Rodriguez wasn't making documentaries.
No, he wasn't making documentaries.
With the same
first film for like $45.
Compare this to another documentary that Tad suggested, which is the Minnesota Upfuck movie, which I really enjoyed.
Wisconsin Death Trip.
Wisconsin was actually really cool.
You can't compare those two things. One's a dramatization, basically.
True, good point.
Yeah, they were
actually shot in a film and a camera.
They had enough people to hire.
Even documentaries are movies.
Well, sure.
And we've been skirting around this, but yes, propaganda doesn't just have to be, Joseph Goebbels doing propaganda for the Nazis. It's like any kind of movie has a point of view or has somewhere it's coming from.
Yeah.
And
has a voice.
This guy
has a voice.
Has a point of view. I just don't know how successful he was in getting to that.
No, I enjoyed his really confused point of view.
You mean Bois and Biederman?
I know that Tad, you came out hard against gatekeeping, but God damn it, we need some basic level.
Well, it's not gatekeeping. It's not gatekeeping if you don't. I purposely did not say that this was not a movie. I've said it's a bad movie.
No, that's fine.
And I stand by that because
aesthetically
it sucks.
As long as you're saying it's a movie, that's fine.
I'm saying it's not a movie. So
okay, right. If that's offensive to say it's not a movie, okay, it's a movie. It's video. It runs on streaming. It's 2 hours long, so it's a movie.
Okay, so,
but it's not a well-made movie.
Why is Scott saying it's not a movie?
I even think from what it's trying to do, it doesn't do it well.
Correct. You could have spent that $11 and made a better infographic and had better design aesthetics about it, and gotten somebody else to narrate it who had a better voice, and it would have been better.
That's a perfect
what it was.
I don't like the guy's voice. I thought actually the sarcasm. I guess that didn't bother me as much.
No, it didn't. After 2 hours, you get used to the sarcastic.
He's also well paid. He's also well paid for his voice outside.
Now,
you get used to it. That's a good review.
I got used to
his sarcasm after a while. Now, the thing is, let's roll back to
it's like World War II.
I have a question for everybody here. If someone went out and made a film, went out and shot it, and had a budget, and it had actors in, a script, beginning, middle, and end, it was all there. He got it all together, cut together, got his master print, put it in his closet, and never showed to anybody, would it be a film?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it would.
No, it doesn't. It would not be a film because it was not seen by anybody.
This is the tree falling in the forest.
Plenty of films that haven't been seen by anybody living.
I know. A film is a work that is reacted to by an audience.
No, it's not.
It's whatever the artist chooses to put out there.
It's art that's put onto some sort of medium that is full motion. Like that's it. That's what
that's a mechanical way of looking at it.
Having an existential.
Well, you need
it is existential.
If you're going to be scientific about it, you need a measurable thing.
Yes.
If
And that's where the
if we
gatekeeping comes
cut
in.
4 episodes of this show together, is it a movie? When it,
Yes.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. You know, the Lost in Space movie was.
We would have to. We
Hold
would all
on,
have to
hold
sign
on.
off
It's a
on
movie,
it.
I guess
John.
so.
Baraka is a movie according to a number of people here. It doesn't have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
But it was made with a high production standard, released in theaters, and given critical response.
Okay.
And
That makes it-
beyond that, it was better than this.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, duh,
But what does that have to do with anything?
no, but I'm
What?
saying that's the
That's
argument.
the only way I can judge a
That's
movie
why.
is
That's
by
why I'm saying
judging
this
it.
isn't a movie, because it's
No. Jim, you're still judging it a movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Scott is judging it not a movie.
And I'm saying
Well,
it's
of
not a
course,
movie.
because this is shorthand for I don't like this movie.
Oh, that's not shorthand. I'm saying
yes, it is.
it doesn't meet the basic
I think
values
you
of what a
could-
movie should be. That's what I'm saying. It was compelling, and I watched it beginning to end, and I was interested, but this is not a film. It's
I was
not
less
a film.
compelled, but it is a film.
Okay, so we're definitely opposite sides in this one.
Yeah.
Mhm. So John,
Okay,
was
so
it a
this
film or
has
not?
20 so this has 22,000 views as the full version.
That's all.
Or no, sorry, 220,000
That's
views
better.
as the full version,
Mhm.
which came out last year. I guarantee you it is far more as the divided version.
Hmm.
So
I'm not going to argue with you that YouTube is a legitimate way to get a thing.
YouTube is like a distribution system.
and yet we ran into somebody arguing that it's not a legitimate
No.
thing.
I put out a film on YouTube that was footage I carefully edited and color corrected of the Queen Mary 2 coming into San Francisco Bay in 2007,
Does it have a
and
beginning, a
it
middle,
got
and an end?
30,000 views.
Does it have a beginning, a
it-
middle,
I
and an end?
panicked. I
I
panicked
made
because
it. I made it, and I'm telling you, it's not a movie.
I panicked when I saw the Queen Mary coming towards me because I thought it was going to hit me.
That
Yeah.
no, that's pretty much.
I
what
thought it was
going
gonna hit
for
the
that
Lumiere brothers.
That freight train going into the thing there. I was going for that first cinema thing. It really was. It was a visceral experience. It wasn't a film though. This was a podcast with fun graphics. Do we have to draw a line somewhere?
What the fuck is
Speaking
it?
of
No,
diminishing
hold on,
returns,
no,
I think
hold on.
arguing whether it's a
Why do
film
we
or
have
not.
to draw? Why do we have to draw a line somewhere?
Right.
Why?
Because if we don't, we're going to end up talking about TikTok posts in a couple months.
No.
No, there's a way to filter
Okay,
this
if they
shit,
put a
okay?
2-hour TikTok post out about the history of Major League Baseball, we can talk about it.
You know,
But-
you take this. You have people shooting home videos, right?
Yeah.
They're not movies, but you put them on Fox as America's funniest home videos, and suddenly they're like movies.
It's television anyway.
Yeah.
It's television.
Well,
Yeah, we can get into that argument later, Joe.
this should be a very long Twitter.
That's not writing. That's just typing.
I know. But,
Yeah, is Twitter writing? Does that
No,
count?
it's not.
no, it's not. It's way not a movie.
I didn't say
Twitter a
movie.
movie.
I said
Actually,
it's
Twitter is a
writing.
movie.
Wait a minute. What if I videotape Twitter with my phone and put that on
Yes.
YouTube? Is that a movie?
That's a movie.
Does it
Yeah,
have a
you know, that
beginning,
came
a
out
middle, and
that
an
was
end,
kinda
and then
like-
people watched it? Because
know
that's
that-
you know
Scott's
that
fucking
you know
Scott's
that
fucking
Andy
response.
Warhol wanted to film the Bible one page at a time to make the longest
I
movie
literally
ever.
gave $20 to some people in England who filmed paint drying on a wall
Yes.
for 17 hours because
Was
to
this
get any-
Grace McClown?
hold on, because to get anything released in England, it has to be viewed by the British Film Bureau
Yes.
censors. So they put it out for release. So they made the censors watch 17 hours of paint drying.
Which was a legal trick, but it still didn't
Yes.
make it a movie.
But it's
Yes,
Malcolm.
it does make it a
McBride,
movie
so-
because it has a
No, in a
beginning,
legal
a middle, and end, and
It
it was
did.
watched by multiple people on a cinema screen,
No.
no less, over the course of multiple days.
Empire State Building by Andy Warhol was ostensibly a movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So was Sleep.
So was
Right.
Sleep. Yeah. So was Wavelength by Michael Wadley. And the thing is, okay, no one's going to see these things. And
They did.
They did. They treated
The
them like a
great thing
cocktail
about
party.
Empire was they recorded these people. You had critics from all the major newspapers and media outlets standing in the lobby looking at their wristwatches, trying to decide when it was safe to go back in to the movie.
I heard that it was kind of like a cocktail party. They would serve drinks outside. People would wander in and out to watch Sleep to see what. Oh, he rolled over. Then you go back out and get another drink.
But that's performance. This is on the edge of performance art. That's a whole different thing. Yeah.
Well, no, movies are performance art.
What does that mean? Oh God!
It means you have a very narrow idea of what art is.
No. I spent a year at the Art Institute in San Francisco. My God!
So you have an even narrower view of what art is.
I have an extremely narrow view of what a movie is.
Right. Yeah. I want to circle back to the point that I think Tad was making about gatekeeping, which is that there is a ton of stuff being made that doesn't have the studio funding, there are no backers. There's no one who is intending to I'm going to bankroll this production because it's going to make money. It was the creators, a direct line from the creators and their cameras to their editing software to YouTube. And that's great that exists. And we should be looking at it because, I mean, Coppola predicted years ago that the next great filmmaker is going to be some fat girl in Ohio. This was at the dawn of digital video years ago.
They stopped that cold, but keep going.
But the point is that there is a lot of stuff that just because it's streamed on Amazon Prime or Netflix instead of YouTube, it doesn't mean that it's not good. There could be some good stuff out there.
Also, it doesn't mean that it is good if it's on Netflix or Amazon versus YouTube. Versus
but I paid $2.99. John, I'm invested that I didn't waste my money.
No, John, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, you wasted exactly $0 on this. Congratulations.
John, say this chick in Ohio who makes a film like just for their PD 150 and going out and shooting with their friends and makes a film, getting middle ed, script, actors, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
What does she want to do with this film? What does she want to do with it?
Put it out.
Put it on YouTube.
She wants to release it on YouTube. As many people as possible, right?
Jared put his last fucking movie out on Vimeo.
I know.
Like, that's a place that anyone can fucking upload things. And are you going to sit here and tell me that's not a film?
It's a film. You know why?
It's good.
It's a script, has a beginning, middle,
because he enjoys it.
It was filmed with a camera.
Because we're friends of Jared.
No, it hits all the requirements of a film. It was filmed with a camera. It has a script. It has a story. Well, the thing is, as a document,
it was filmed with a camera.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about?
Let me back up a little bit there.
We're getting into dangerous territory.
There are plenty of films that are made without cameras.
Right.
Any animated film you see was made without a camera.
And Ray shot a lot of photographs without a camera.
John, he went out and shot his dog movie with a camera.
A 35 millimeter still camera, but
I know that's right.
My first 35 millimeter film.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's nice of you, but I'm talking about me and Ray.
If you're someone with an idea and you want to get it in front of people, that YouTube.
That's the thing. That's the gatekeeping.
Than most film festivals.
Yeah, that's why Jared's pushing into film festivals. He wants it to be seen.
Scott.
He wants to go somewhere with this.
Scott,
sorry, Jim. Sorry.
Oh God, I can't even remember the name of the fucking thing. Is Blair Witch Project a movie?
Yes.
Yeah, script, beginning, middle, end, shot on 2 different formats.
Yeah.
Yeah.